I now welcome the author of our third book, Mr. Santhosh Lakshmanan, on stage, please. Santhosh is the author of The Farmer Entrepreneur. Welcome, Santhosh. Welcome, Santhosh, sir. You have a very interesting background. You're an engineer from a small agricultural village in Nilgiri, Tamil Nadu. You worked in the software industry for 10 years before turning to agriculture in 2014 at the age of 33. Driven by his understanding of farmers' challenges, Mr. Santhosh believed that only farmers, through entrepreneurship, could address farm distress and create a fairer world order. So it's some pretty compelling new ideas here. Um, what inspired you to shift from the software industry to agriculture, and how did your own experiences shape your vision for this book?
Yes, that vision that you're talking about, that's the whole point of this book. That's one. Before that, thank you, Sharanya, thank you, Karthik, Benedict and team, thank you for this opportunity. Uh, as you said, I, I quit my full-time software job after coming back from the US. In 2014, I started this. The first day, I do not know anything about entrepreneurship. We've not done it, but farming just comes very easily. First day, November 1, 2014, I take a bag of potatoes from my village and split it. Sales is the number one thing. I take it to every home, door to door, sell it to know what entrepreneurship is about. That's the first thing. Then, end to end, what does it take in agriculture? If I'm talking about the farmers' problems, I need to know what I'm talking about. It's not what's coming in the popular media. Farmers have their own issues, they have their own strengths, all that is there. From owning cattle heads, about 6 cattle heads, managing all of those single-handedly, doing businesses, agricultural production, retail business, delivering groceries, vegetables, fruits and vegetables to 40 villages, logistics business, hotel, 10-table hotel business. You need to understand what entrepreneurship is to connect that with agriculture. So if I just may take a couple of minutes to go forward a little bit on that. So that was my schedule, taking care of the cattle, and there's a photograph also at the back of the book. What I saw after 2 years doing this, around 2016, 2017, is the number of possibilities are huge. And on one side, you have, intractable problems. You cannot solve not only the farmers' problems, you cannot solve many of society's problems on your own or on the government, based on the government's, based on the government's actions alone. So who can solve these problems? The first is farmers need to solve their own problems first, of course, right? Because they have lots of problems themselves. To generate wealth, as you know, as all of us mostly know, we need land, labor, capital, and organization, right? Farmers across mostly have land, labor, and capital. They employ that in their daily businesses, in their farms. But organization is something that has not come, has not been there, apart from, aside from the pockets of positive news from that side. So the only missing piece is organization. Why are they not organized? because there is a lack of purpose. Because cells come together to form an organ because they have a purpose, they have a function. So what is the purpose for farmers to come together? One overarching purpose needs to be there, and that is the story of this book. How, I mean, this builds the vision, and it also, it puts the structure into it. And of course, the method also is there. It's a very small book, because by nature, when you start, the seed needs to be very small, because, you know, by its own weight, it will not need to, you know, wilt and die out. So that's the reason this is only the seed. This is the vision document. There will be parts 2 and 3 if things go well as I plan.
Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and for sharing your amazing vision with us, Mr. Santhosh. I'd like to wrap up with a question for Mr. Karthik. Since this is a business book lit fest, I'm sure there are a lot of aspiring authors here. So in your time as an editor, like when you see a business book draft that's being pitched to you, what is something that makes you go, wow, that's the next big one?
I'd say a couple of things. I'd say the depth of the research, and I'd say the idea, the articulation of the idea. I mean, many things can be, you need not have to do only one book on one idea. You can do more than one book, provided, you know, the articulation is different. You're bringing something new to the table. You're able to kind of generate a fresh view, a fresh look at, you know, something like that. So these are the two things, research and the idea, the articulation.
Thank you so much. We now invite Mr. Subodh from Ata Galata to please present a memento to Mr. Santhosh.
Just one point to add to when he said, when Karthik said about the fresh view that needs to bring in. So what this book does is how the bottom of the pyramid, you know, they can run businesses on their own, and that ultimately how that can lead to the farmers, how can they rule the world. So that is the whole purpose of the book. Thank you.